Welcome to Wealthy Living New Mexico. I'm your host, Marissa Morgan, joined by Shawn Kiehne and Tyler Kiehne of Kiehne Wealth and Retirement. When it comes to retirement, most people think that saving their money is the hardest part. But today we're going to show you the hardest part might actually be keeping all of that money so you can use it in your retirement. Why? Because you have a silent partner in retirement. His name is Uncle Sam. And we're going to show you how Uncle Sam wants his cut and what you can do to keep more of it in your own pocket. This is a big topic, guys. I'm happy to be back in the studio with you to talk through this. How have you been since our last show?
Doing amazing, and you are right. This show, anytime we talk about taxes, the phone starts ringing.
Yep, great to be back. Hopefully I'm tan enough so you can see me. I realize my jacket blends in a little bit, but glad to be back.
You look great. You look great.
Thank you.
Well, what we're going to talk about today is this big problem, and that's a tax bill that no one sees coming. They pay their yearly taxes without realizing that all the income they've saved in 401ks and IRAs, all that money also get taxed in retirement. So let's talk about why this is called the retirement tax time bomb. That's what you professionals call it.
Exactly, because the reason we call it that is it's literally a bomb that blows up in most people's face once they retire.
Yikes.
A tax bomb.
Ugh, sounds horrible.
Doesn't sound fun, does it?
No bombs sound fun, but definitely not tax bombs.
Yeah, and it's just something that we definitely see that people do not plan for, because think about it. You're contributing while you're working to these tax deferred accounts. So you're getting a little tax break now while you're working, but very little thought for most people ever goes into, okay, when is it going to be time to pay the piper? You know, when am I going to pay taxes on this? How does that look? How is that going to affect other things in my retirement? And I've planned hundreds of retirements, been doing this for over 20 years. And this is one of the main things that I see, the biggest potholes in the road in retirement that people just do not plan for. And so it's kind of a bomb that explodes, like I say, on people. And but there's a way to fix it. There's a way to what do you call it? Diffuse that bomb before it happens.
I can't wait to get to how we diffuse this tax time bomb. But I like that you brought up most people are worried about saving money. They're not thinking, let me save money and how am I going to pay taxes on it? Is it also safe to say most people think in retirement they're going to be in a lower tax bracket? Is that also why people don't really worry about taxes?
Yeah,
Tyler?
most of the time. And I mean, it's a logical thought. I'm not going to be working anymore. I'm going to be paying less. But it's oftentimes not true. You're going to start taking distributions from a lot of your accounts. You're going to have to start taking Social Security. There's a lot of other factors that are going to be at play once you retire. You may not have thought about these because a lot of your money is being handled for you right now by where you work. But once you retire and you're on your own, you're going to have to figure that out. And a lot of times we find it that people actually make more in retirement than they do before they were retired. And that can cause a lot of problems. You're going to get bumped up into higher tax brackets if you're not careful. It can mess with your Medicare. You're going to have to pay more for that. I mean, it's just a mess if you don't take care of it properly. Like a bomb, it'll ruin some things. But yeah, it's something that needs to be taken care of.
Who should be paying attention to today's show, Shawn?
Definitely anyone in that retirement red zone that we talk about. What does that mean? 5 years prior to retirement, or the first 5 years of retirement? Anyone who's retired that has a 401k or an IRA, and you've been thinking about, or you've already experienced, hey, every time I withdraw from this account, man, a third of it is going to Uncle Sam. And also anyone that's never received a written tax plan for your retirement account should definitely be paying attention today.
Do you think that you might have a tax problem in retirement? Maybe you have no idea, right? Well, the first step is finding out. What could your future tax bill be? We have a free tool we're going to give you today to actually see. A little crystal ball to look into the future. We have a tax calculator. You can go to kwealthtaxtest.com or take out your phone and just scan this QR code. Open up the camera, point it at this little funny looking box. That'll take you there. This takes just about 2 to 3 minutes, and it will show you what your future tax bill could be. We're not talking about your yearly taxes. You have to pay those. But Uncle Sam also wants a big part of everything. Every penny you've saved for retirement, he wants his cut. So how much might you owe Uncle Sam? Take that tax calculator test now and see what your future tax bill might be. We actually have an example of some numbers of what this tax calculator looks like, what it will generate for our viewers. Can you talk us through how this tax calculator looks? Levi, if you'll put that up on the screen for us, thank you so much. Look at this. Explain what I see here and how people will get their own version of this when they take the calculator test.
Yeah, so when you get to this calculator, it literally takes 2 minutes to fill out. It's going to ask you your age, your portfolio value, your tax bracket, your current tax bracket, your assumed rate of growth, and it's going to estimate over, say, the next 20, 25 years in retirement. If you just leave your money in those tax-deferred accounts, those 401ks, those IRAs, those TSPs, it's going to show you on the left-hand side, on the black column, potentially how much in taxes you're going to pay the next 20, 25 years on that account. Because like you said, the IRS wants taxes on what you've already made, what your account grows to. They're going to tax it when it passes on to your beneficiaries when you die.
Oh my
so
goodness.
If you see on the screen here, for an IRA that has $400,000 and you're in the 22% tax bracket, and we're assuming that's growing at 5% a year in your investments, the software estimates that by the time you pass away, you're going to pay $457,000 in cumulative taxes on a $400,000 account. And this is literally shocking to people when they come in and when they see this. And viewers out there, you're going to get this report emailed to you. It's customized to you. And on the right-hand side where it says 90,000, that's showing if you have a proactive plan doing things like Roth conversions, how you could pay $90,000 instead of $457,000. So we always ask people, which would you rather pay?
I know we all have the same answer.
Or $457,000.
Right.
Most people are like, well, duh, it's a no-brainer, right? But how do we do that? And the comments we get from people is like, how come no one's ever shown this to me before? Man, I wish I would have known about this 10 years ago. My situation would be a lot different. In retirement, you all know about the age 73, they force you to take money out, those required minimum distributions.
Yes.
What if we could get those out of the way by some proactive tax planning like Roth conversions, and you didn't have to take RMDs later on because you've worked with someone that's helped you get your taxable money tax-free. Are we saying you can avoid taxes? No, I want to be very clear about that. But there are ways that you can legally reduce those taxes. You just got to be working with somebody that knows the rules and has the tools to reduce those taxes. So give us a call, 877-697-6236. Scan the QR code. Take the tax test that we've been talking about. It's going to get emailed to you. Then give us a call. Come in for an in-person meeting. We're not salespeople. We're educators. We want, if there was a better way to structure your investments, a more tax-efficient way, when would you want to know about it? For those of you watching out there today, most people are going to say, well, right now, or I wish I would have known about it 5 years ago, right?
Right.
So that's all we're offering today is let us take a look, get a second set of eyes on your investments, get a second opinion. You can't get a second opinion for the person that gave you your first opinion. We have so many people that tell us, you know what, my advisor doesn't do what you guys do. They're not talking to me about this. Man, I wish I would have known about this before. So I encourage you, call. Let's see if we can help you.
Next, we are going to talk about how these hidden taxes can cost you thousands, not just in taxes. What about healthcare costs? What about Social Security? It's like a snowball effect. But if you took the tax calculator and are shocked at the numbers you got, if you would like some help reducing your future taxes, today's the day to have that complimentary conversation with Shawn or Tyler. They're going to personally meet with anyone who calls in during today's show, and they're going to actually sit down with you, go over your results, and you'll leave the office with a written plan, actionable insights, recommendations for what you should do so that you can keep more of your hard-earned money. You've got one shot at retirement. Let this team help you do it right so you can have the retirement of your dreams. That's what it's all about. Life is short and we want you to enjoy yours and not be worried about taxes. We're going to take a short break so you can call in and make those appointments. You can meet in person or virtually, and you'll meet personally with Shawn or Tyler. When we come back, how can this affect your health care and your Social Security? You're going to want to hear this.
Think your retirement savings are all yours? Think again. Your traditional 401k, IRA, or pension comes with a tax bill from the IRS, and it may be bigger than you expect. Want to see how much? I'm Tyler Kiehne with Kiehne Wealth and Retirement, and we've got a quick and easy tax calculator to show your potential tax hit. Just scan the QR code or visit kwealthtaxtest.com to start planning around it today.
Hi, I'm Shawn Kiehne with Kiehne Wealth and Retirement. Market losses aren't the only risk in retirement. One of the biggest and most overlooked could be the tax bill on your qualified assets like 401ks and IRAs. As tax rates change, so does the value of your retirement income. A Roth conversion may help reduce your exposure and create more predictability, but timing and strategy matter. Want to see if a Roth conversion could be right for your plan? Take the Roth conversion quiz today. It's free and could help you make a more informed decision about your financial future. Scan the QR code or visit kwealthrothquiz.com to take our Roth conversion quiz today.
Welcome back to Wealthy Living New Mexico. I'm your host, Marissa, joined by Shawn and Tyler Kiehne here locally in New Mexico, Albuquerque, and surrounding areas. They're here to help you plan for your retirement so that you can enjoy it and not be worried. You can have the confidence to do the things that you've been wanting to do and not be worried about things like taxes. That's what we're talking about today. The problem of the ticking tax time bomb, which we're learning today, gentlemen, if we don't plan for, can have disastrous effects on our retirement. Shawn, where do retirees usually feel this tax problem first?
When they start taking withdrawals from their accounts. And a lot of times that it's age 73 with those required minimum distributions. The IRS at that point, maybe you've deferred those accounts all your working years, all the years up to there that you've been retired, but now the IRS is going to force you to take out money out of those accounts, and that causes a lot of issues. And a lot of times people don't even want to take that money. Like I've said in other shows, I have tons of clients that say, I hate how they make me take money out of these accounts. I don't need it. You know, I'm retired, my house is paid off, my income's good. I wish I didn't have to touch this because I have to pay taxes on it. And Tyler's going to talk about in a second other issues that causes. But mainly people don't even think about the taxes until that first retirement withdrawal they make. Like a client of mine years ago, he had the mythical $1 million saved
So he had
up
$1 million in his retirement
in his
accounts.
401k.
Okay.
And he was like in his mid 60s or early 60s, taking money out to pay for his daughter's weddings and things like that. And he told me, Shawn, one of the worst days of my life is when I actually realized that my $1 million, only about 700,000 of it was mine.
Wow.
Because 30% was Uncle Sam's.
Yep.
Wow.
And
So we do everything right. We work, we put money in, we let it grow, and it grows, but then ultimately we're sharing it with Uncle Sam when we need it most, right?
Mhm.
What were you going to say, Tyler?
I was just going to say that a lot of people are surprised about this, which is surprising to me because this is such a big problem. How is it that you don't know about this? Like, you have planned almost everything in your life except for your money and your taxes. So much rides on this part of your plan, especially in your retirement. How have you not looked at this? How are you not aware that this is a problem? If nobody's ever sat down and talked to you about this, that's a problem in itself. And I find it that when people are surprised, I'm glad they're with us because we can actually put together a plan to help them. But the fact that they don't know, this is such a big problem, and so many people don't know it exists.
And it's not their fault.
I was just going to say that.
It's
I
not
felt
their
like,
fault
yeah.
because I used to work at one of these big box firms. So the people at these big box firms, they're trained a specific way and they're good people, but their focus is on growing your money. We call that the accumulation phase of your life. Very rarely do they ever think about or give you any advice, or a lot of times the companies they work for, they say, well, we can't talk about taxes. So it's not their fault that they never thought of this. It's just they're not sitting down with an advisor that specializes in retirement planning, and that's what's different about our firm. Yeah, we want to grow your money, but we know the potholes in the road that are going to come up in retirement, like taxes that you probably haven't thought about, and we know how to proactively prepare you for that.
You help grow the money and also protect the money so your clients can keep more of it. If you're just joining us, we're not talking about your yearly taxes that you sit down before April and file willy-nilly, right? You get some papers. We're talking about the big ticking tax time bomb that might be on your plate for all the taxes you're going to have to pay when you start taking money out of your IRA or your 401k. If you have a couple $100,000 or more in an IRA or a 401k, do you want to give 30% or even more of that to Uncle Sam? Because that's what could happen if you don't have a tax plan. But the good news is every week, these gentlemen, Shawn and Tyler, come to local television here in New Mexico to help our community plan so that doesn't have to be the case. I have a tax calculator I want you to use if you've just joined us and you didn't get to use it at the beginning of the show. Go to kwealthtaxtest.com, put in some simple information, find out what your future tax liability bill from Uncle Sam might be, and then find out what that same bill might be if you put some of the strategies we're talking about today in place. Those two numbers could be very different. For those of you who took that tax calculator, the phone number on the screen is the number to call right now to get a little bit of help to lower that tax bill. No one wants to overpay in taxes, not you, not me, not these guys. So let them help you make a plan, a written plan, and they'll do that for you complimentary if you call during today's show. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, how can this affect your health care, your Social Security, and what is the solution? These gentlemen will share.
What do you think your biggest retirement expense will be? Healthcare? Housing? Maybe inflation? The answer might surprise you. It's actually taxes. I'm Shawn Kiehne with Kiehne Wealth and Retirement. And if you've got a tax-deferred account, like an IRA, a 401k, not all that money belongs to you. Uncle Sam is your silent partner. So how do we keep more of your savings? Start with our free tax calculator at kwealthtaxtest.com. Just plug in a few numbers and you'll get a snapshot of your potential tax bill. We'll help you build a plan to protect your savings and give you peace of mind through retirement.
Welcome back to Wealthy Living New Mexico. I'm glad you're here today because if you're within 10 years of retirement or you have money saved up in IRAs or 401ks, this show can help you save and keep a lot more of that money so you're not overpaying in taxes to Uncle Sam. I'm Marissa here with Shawn and Tyler Kiehne. We're talking about the ticking tax time bomb, and if you didn't do it yet, make sure you try the tax calculator, kwealthtax.com, or just take out your phone, scan this little QR code right here, and that'll take you there. It takes about 2 minutes. And you'll find out how big of a tax problem you may be facing very soon in your retirement. Tyler, we didn't get a chance before we went to a commercial break. Oh, by the way, a ton of people called during that commercial break. So you guys are going to have a lot of new appointments on your books. And before we dive into more, pain points, you're going to personally meet with anyone who calls during today's show. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's great.
Yep.
That's great.
No obligation. And again, even for people in outlying areas, we have tons of people calling in from Farmington, Las Cruces, Clovis. We can do it over phone or Zoom. No cost for that initial consultation. We don't know if we can help you, but we will sure try to do it.
Oh, I love the honesty there. You're not sure, but you're definitely going to try. And I think that's the first thing, is just taking that first step, having that conversation. Don't be nervous. Don't be intimidated. These guys are here to help and offer their services to you, especially this community. I know you're passionate about that. Before we talk about how we build a tax-efficient retirement, we've got to hit two things. Taxes isn't just taxes. In retirement, it could impact our health care and also our Social Security. Tyler, can you explain how this snowball effect happens?
Sure. And without planning, multiple tax issues can happen all at once.
Oh, man.
And this just kind of speaks to what a retirement plan should look like. There's several different pillars of retirement. We call them the 5 pillars of retirement. They should all be aligned and working together. If your taxes and your income aren't communicating, how do you know that there's not going to be a problem there? If your income isn't communicating with your investments, there might be a problem there. Your accounts are scattered and your plans are coming from 5 different sources. How are they all doing for you? Are they in line with one another? That's the biggest thing here, is having a unified wealth design for your plan. And to the point, you have higher income, you're going to get bumped into a higher tax bracket, which nobody wants. Nobody wants to pay more. But how is that going to affect your Medicare? There's a thing called IRMA surcharges. It's income-related monthly adjusted amount. And what that means is if you make above a certain threshold, you're going to be charged more for your Medicare premiums.
Wow.
And I don't know why they did that, but it's there. It's in the laws. And so if you're not careful about how you're taking your money, where you're taking your money from, and when you're taking your money, and from which accounts, this can cause a lot of issues.
Wow, I feel like you guys are like these master retirement planning strategists. I see you with like a big board in your office and you're like, okay, you have this here and this here and this here. Well, if we take this and we move the decimal, but we do this in June and we do this here, it means you're going to get more money tax-free, or you're going to pay less in taxes, and your Medicare charges won't go up, and your Social Security won't.
Yes.
It's like everything has to work together, and you help people who don't have any idea what they're doing make it make sense.
You have to orchestrate it together. And just like a team, like on football, all 11 guys on the field have to work together, and all of them have to do their responsibility all at the same time. If one out of the 11 guys on the field does not do his job, that is the weakness, and the other team will find it and expose you for it. So if all 5 pillars of your retirement are not holding each other up as a team, that plan will fail.
I like this. I imagine you guys in the locker room with your clients and the board and like showing your clients the plays to get them the opportunity to keep more of their money, because that's what it's all about, right?
That's exactly what we do, Marissa.
So cool.
Here's how our process works. You call in 877-697-6236. Have an in-person 30-minute, we call it a discovery meeting with us. Let us see where we can help you, or a phone call. And then when we have that, we'll schedule a second follow-up meeting with you, usually a week or so later. And Tyler and I, we call it game planning. When we're meeting for that, when we're preparing for that second appointment with clients, I always tell Tyler, hey, let's go in the conference room, let's game plan for Mr. and Mrs. Chavez that called in. And here's their information, and we put the whole plan together. And that's the best part of our job, is coming to people with an organized, well thought out plan, like Tyler says, that your income and your taxes and your Social Security and your Medicare and your long-term care and all those issues of your retirement plan communicate with each other. So, because big problems can arise, like you said, you take too much money out or at the wrong time, causes your Medicare to go up, causes your Social Security to be taxed.
Wow.
So it's very important to have, like Tyler calls it, a unified wealth plan, and that's what we offer folks. And we find that most people just tell us, you know what, we're not getting this. And if that's you out there watching today, you feel like when you leave your advisor's office, all you talked about was the performance of your accounts last year. You know that something is missing, give us a call, 877-697-6236. 6236. And I know we're running out of time. So what's the solution?
I was
For
going to say.
most people know what a Roth IRA is, right?
Yes.
That's the tax-free version. But most people didn't get the advice when they were younger to put as much money as they could into those Roth IRAs. And if you're working, they limit how much you can put in, usually like $8,000 a year. That's all you can put into those tax-free accounts. There's something called a Roth conversion. Don't have a lot of time to go over it right now, but scan the QR code. This is basically going to show you in 2 minutes what a Roth conversion could look like for you. Taxes are historically low right now.
Yes.
We call it taxes are on sale. Learn how you can not avoid taxes, but you can strategically reduce those taxes and pay a lot less over your retirement by utilizing this great tool called a Roth conversion. That's the solution for most people. Is it a fit for everybody? No, it's an individual discussion. Some people it might not be a fit for, but a lot of people, this is the solution to, hey, you got to pay the taxes anyway. Get them out of the way sooner than later, and we'll show you the benefits of that and how much you can potentially save.
So why should we care about this now? Because taxes right now are lower than they've been historically. So wouldn't it make sense to look at your retirement accounts and pay smaller taxes now, then let that money grow and grow and grow and grow, and then 5, 10, 15 years from now, pay more in taxes when tax rates go up, right? It all makes sense. Call the number on your screen, especially if you already did the tax calculator. Set up that appointment that Shawn was telling us about. There's no obligation. You won't be charged for it at all. They'd love to help you. And if you haven't done the tax calculator, we'll put that up again. This will give you an idea of what a Roth conversion may do for what you owe in taxes and see how much a Roth conversion might save you. It's not the right tool for everyone, but it might be the right tool for you. So write down the phone number so you have it. We're ending the show in a moment, or make sure you do the tax calculator. Those two things, the calculator and then the phone call, is what you should do. We have about 30 seconds left. Tyler, what would you like to share with our viewers at home before we wrap up? Why is Kiehne Wealth different?
We're not just money advisors, or we don't really care about the assets. It's about the people. That's the real wealth. That's biblical wealth. That's God's wealth, is people. And that's the main focus of our practice. How can we give you what you deserve? Peace of mind, confidence in your plan, in your life. And that's why we're different. We actually care. A lot of these clients, they're our family. So that's why we're different.
Well, New Mexico, you are our family. So thank you for tuning in every single week, and we'll see you here next week.